Let's ask the obvious questions. Why are we reading this? Why are we watching this video lesson? May these questions be answered when we reach the end of this short presentation on reading The Handmaid's Tale. Let's gain an overview of this text written by Margaret Atwood using the knowledge framework of the new IB-TOK course. The four common elements of the knowledge framework are scope, perspectives, methods and tools, and ethics. We hope this short introduction will convince everyone to find time to get hold of a copy and read this dystopian novel. Let's start with scope to know how this work of fiction fits within the totality of human knowledge. So we ask, why is this novel worth reading? Aside from being what Margaret Atwood is best known for, are you not wondering why it has a very strong readership? This very accessible literary piece using average English, as highlighted in Nomi Mercer's TED Ed lesson, is an exploration of the consequences of complacency and how power can be wielded unfairly. If we are to add the changes, issues, and repercussions of the ongoing pandemic, indeed, the themes in this novel are ever relevant. Moving on to perspectives to look into how we view or approach knowledge in different ways, we ask, what does speculative fiction have to offer? Margaret Atwood herself shared, speculative fiction is a way of dealing with possibilities that are inherent in all society now, but which have not yet been fully enacted. The third element of our knowledge framework is for methods and tools. So we ask the question, how should we read this novel to produce knowledge? Let's practice the most familiar tool we know when it comes to writing or doing literary analysis, the affective stylistics, or more commonly known as the reader's response. As we read the novel, let us keep track of striking, interesting words, phrases, lines, and/or passages. Instead of thinking about what they mean or focusing on interpreting them, let's ask the more useful questions. When Mum Brawl quoted Fish, what does the sentence do to the reader? How does the reader of this sentence make meaning? In exploring the last element of our knowledge framework, which is ethics, to examine more closely the relationship between facts and values, we ask, how do we choose from the prescribed reading list? Despite being adapted into a film, an opera, a ballet, and even more recently as a TV series, there are institutions and groups who still hesitate to have their students read this text. Everyone reads and interprets stories differently. We all bring different personal experiences, cultural preferences, language proficiencies, and reading interests to the table. We consider culture and perspective where most of our students come from. We consider where a literary text stands in relation to time and origin it represents. We consider how accessible the text is as we take into account the English proficiency level of our students. Bringing everything back to TOK knowledge questions, reading Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale may lead one to focus his or her IB-TOK exhibition on number 30 of the IA prompts. What role does imagination play in producing knowledge about the world? When are you going to meet Offred?
Reading stories should be fun. See you in our video lesson. Get it started now. Take care always. Thank you.